Have you ever found yourself walking out of a store with something you didn't even need? Or maybe you've agreed to something in a meeting only to regret it later? Well, in this explainer, we are diving deep into the invisible architecture of control, those hidden forces all around us, in our environment and even in our relationships that are constantly shaping what we think, what we feel, and what we do.
So let's just start with a really provocative question. Something to think about. Are your decisions truly your own? Or is it possible that you're unknowingly following a script, one that was written by someone else?
In this quote, it just gets right to the heart of everything we're exploring today. See, the most powerful kind of control isn't a chain or a command. It's an idea, one that's planted in your mind so skillfully that you actually mistake it for your very own thought. It's influence that whispers and never, ever shouts.
Okay, so our first stop on this journey is what I call the silent stage, our physical surroundings. Now, you might think the room you're in right now is just a backdrop, right? But it's not. Every single space, from your office to your favorite coffee shop, is actually designed to make you feel and act in a very specific way. I mean, just think about the grand, echoing halls of a cathedral. They're built that way to make you feel small, to feel reverent. And then, think about a bright, open-plan office, which is designed for productivity and collaboration. You see, these aren't accidents. The architecture itself is like a silent instruction manual for your behavior.
And what's so fascinating about this is that it isn't a new idea. Not at all. Over here on the left, you've got an ancient temple using incredible height and emptiness to inspire a feeling of awe. And on the right, a modern boardroom that uses a long table and a power seat at the head to command respect. The technology has changed for sure, but that core psychological principle, it's identical. The design dictates the dynamics.
It's really a full sensory experience. That warm lighting and the smell of fresh bread in a supermarket, that's not just for ambiance. It's literally designed to make you linger and ultimately buy more. And that bright, cool tone light in an office, it isn't just for visibility. It's meant to keep you alert and productive. This whole thing isn't a conversation. It's a very carefully crafted monologue. And we're the audience.
But look, this architecture of control isn't just built with walls and lights. It's also built in the spaces between people. This is where we get into the invisible dance of social influence, a game where power is exchanged without a single word ever being spoken.
I want you to picture a high-stakes negotiation. Who do you think has the power? Is it the person who's talking a mile a minute, fidgeting, rushing to fill every single silence? Or is it the person who leans back, speaks slowly, and lets their words just hang in the air? This right here is called the royal cadence. You see, our brains are wired to see slowness as confidence, as deliberation. Rushing signals desperation. Real authority never, ever needs to hurry.
You know, most people are absolutely terrified of silence. We rush to fill it. But masters of influence, they know that silence can be a weapon. By holding a pause just a second or two longer than is comfortable, you create this conversational vacuum. The other person feels an almost physical need to fill that void, and in their haste, they often reveal their true intentions or their anxieties.
Now this one taps directly into our primal brain. I mean, way before language, our ancestors relied on eye contact to assess threats. A darting, shifty gaze? That signals danger. But a steady, calm gaze communicates safety and authority. When you can hold someone's gaze calmly, you're not just looking at them. You are non-verbally telling their nervous system, I am in control and you are safe.
So, let's put this all together. Your pace, your pauses, your gaze, these are not just random mannerisms. They are a toolkit. And when you use them unconsciously, they reveal your inner state. But when you use them consciously, they allow you to set the emotional thermostat of any interaction. You can calm anxiety, command respect, or build trust.
But the most powerful levers of control aren't actually in the outside world at all. They're inside of us. We're now entering the realm of what you might call the ghost in the machine, our own unmet hunger, those deep-seated needs that make us vulnerable to the most personal kinds of influence.
This is such a crucial point. Skilled manipulators don't create desire out of thin air. They find the desire that's already there. They are experts at spotting the empty spaces inside of us. You know, our need for validation, our craving for connection, our search for meaning. And then they present themselves as the missing piece to our puzzle. This is what's known as the Predator's Playbook, and it works by basically hacking our fundamental need for connection. So, step 1, find the wound. What does this person desperately need? Step 2, become the cure. Mirror that need right back to them. And then step 3, this is the most insidious part, create a reward loop. Think of it like a slot machine.
By giving affection and approval unpredictably, they get you addicted to pulling the lever, desperate for that next payout.
So where do these wounds that the playbook exploits even come from? Well, they're often etched into us in our childhood. The way we learn to get love and attention and safety as kids. That becomes our unconscious blueprint for how we approach relationships as adults. And many of us spend our lives just trying to solve the puzzles of our past.
And that's exactly why this form of manipulation cuts so deep. The manipulator isn't just pushing your buttons. They're playing a song that only your childhood self recognizes. They are speaking directly to your oldest, most vulnerable wounds.
So now that we've seen this invisible architecture of control, from the rooms we're in all the way to the desires within us, the most important question becomes, how do we reclaim our mental and our emotional freedom? So, how do you break the spell? Well, it's not about fighting back in some big dramatic way. It's about reclaiming your clarity with 4 simple acts of self-respect. First, just pause. When you feel pressured, just say, "Let me think about that." This disrupts their momentum. Second, ask for specifics. Vague promises are a huge red flag, so asking, "What exactly are you asking?" forces them to be clear. Third, trust your gut. Your body often senses manipulation way before your brain does. That knot in your stomach, you have to listen to it. And fourth, state a boundary. Clearly and calmly say what you will and will not accept. You don't need to argue, just state your position.
Now, the goal here isn't to become suspicious or paranoid of everyone. Not at all. The goal is humility. It's about recognizing that we are all wired to be influenced. And this awareness is what allows you to see these patterns in yourself and in others, so you can start making choices that are truly conscious and truly your own.
So I'll leave you with this final question. Now that you can see the architecture, you're no longer just a resident living inside of it. You become the architect. So, what kind of spaces, what kind of relationships, and what kind of internal worlds will you choose to build for yourself?